Yeah, it started already.
Yeah, voila.
Very dummy,
Fantastic.
you know.
We're
We have
back.
the stick as Chinese people.
Right.
So Eric was doing like I'm Chinese, and I say, yeah, no, don't say that. It's not very fair to be racist, you know.
I'm not a
And
racist.
yeah, no,
Hey, come on. I'm not a
no,
racist.
no, you're not. But you
No.
were telling that they were stupid, right? And
No,
in
I'm not
fact, they
saying
are super.
Chinese people.
they, but they were. But in fact, for me, they are like the super smart. They are copyists, and they rule the world.
They're
The
superstar.
world.
They're super smart. This is true. It's
They
just
rule.
they look a bit funny when they're walking around with these sticks,
Jealousy.
especially like 10 years ago. You know,
Haters.
especially 10
Jealousy.
years ago, you had all these people all of a sudden pop up with their sticks, you know, and filming themselves and being very egocentric and being in the middle of the universe
No.
with their stick and their camera. For me, it was always laughter.
Ah, for me, it's communication. They are one step ahead with the European people. They just communicate. They communicate. They have one times a year, 2 weeks of holidays, and they make it like for the entire family who have no money to know and to experience what they experience. So for me, it's just super cool. And now we're using a China stick during this COVID-19 is super cool.
Right.
And a China stick made in China, obviously, but I'm sure they don't even use their own thing. They buy something else. Like us,
And
we
they-
don't use our own thing. We buy it from China.
Yeah.
It's like,
And the good thing, we didn't even have to disinfect it. You know,
yeah.
it was already free of bacteria, viruses. I don't know what have you. What they invent these days, what they make up. They
Yeah.
try to scare us and fool us. Obviously, maybe. Well, that's my viewpoint.
Yeah, Eric have a funny viewpoint about the COVID-19. I don't know if you want to know. Me, I don't want to know because it's very scary. But yeah, so if you want to say something about that subject,
All right,
feel free.
all right. So
They're all yours. Nobody will interrupt you beside me.
look at the background, by the way. Isn't
Yeah.
that kind of funny? You know, because we're crossing a bridge right now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And
huh?
this is the sea. You see? Hey.
Hey,
And
yeah, exactly.
and here is the other side. So you see, and it's going like in a canal, and then is the end. At the end is other people. Is the end. So is a living space
Right.
on yeah at the end.
So yeah, everything here still below sea level. Hard to imagine, maybe, even if you see the water, but even the water is below the sea level. Oh, slightly above. I don't actually. I'm
Yeah,
not,
and
I'm
you
not
see
really
the
sure
structure.
about how it is here.
What they do is like you have the sea, and they build something on it. No waste of space. No waste of space. It's good. So,
But yeah, okay.
subject of
so-
today,
so,
COVID-19
so-
and how we survive it without killing each other, first of all, and second of all, by stay happy, and what would be the third thing that we could talk about?
Well, me, I'm a firm believer that you know, if you're spiritually fine, if you're spiritually happy, if you're not really bothered with things, if you're not really worried about things, and the less these things, the less these conditions are present, the better your body will function. Obviously, right? Because you
Yep.
know, we know. We've come to know that that more than 70% of all mankind's illnesses are psychosomatic, which is to say, you know, derived from stress, derived from tensions, derived from anguish, derived from fear, obviously, right? So
Right.
if you want to control a person, you just put some fear on him, you know, and you have a bit more of control over this guy. Anyway, so this is
Right.
what we've been seeing all over the media, and I've been following it since early December already
Exactly.
on alternative news websites, and very soon it was quite clear. I had some stable data, and the main thing was that somebody said, "Look, there's millions of viruses, bacteria, and all kinds of things that will, you know, assault the body. But you have your defense system, right? And if your defense system is working fine, there's nothing to worry about." So maybe this COVID-19 is a real threat. That's possible. But still, if you have all these millions of viruses, then you couldn't give anybody a shot just for 5 million viruses, for example, right? You wouldn't do that. You couldn't administer 5 million shots. So where would you start? You would basically start building your own defense system. And there's doctors right now.
Very smart guy. He's mine.
There's doctors right now who talk freely and who don't want to shut up. And they're basically saying, if you get your dose of vitamin D, and if you get your dose of zinc, then you're pretty much protected, given the fact that your immune system is otherwise working fine, and you have no underlying health conditions. So this is why I have what became my stable data, and for the last 3 months, I'm just going everywhere without my protection. And in the supermarkets, I just grab a cart. I don't even disinfect them. I don't even believe in the word disinfection anymore. So for me, it's become like a big farce. And if you study it a bit more,
I'm not agree.
and if you study a bit more, then you find out that a lot of things right now are treated as COVID-19. Whereas the person was already old, or whereas the person already had diabetes, or the person had already some kind of illness which was aggravated by this virus. This is of course possible. Anyway, that's my viewpoint, that's my stance, and I think I like to use my human right and communicate this to whoever wants to listen.
Right.
That's my viewpoint.
Yeah, but it's a good viewpoint anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good viewpoint. I agree that it doesn't make sense that suddenly a virus that have been created in the laboratory one day, 2003, now almost 17 years after, gonna kill millions of people without anybody knows. This is strange. So after, I don't want to go into this polemic because I have my own point of view and we need to go forward. Life must go on, right?
We know.
Life must go on, right? A great guy was saying that one day, and it's true. Just we need to keep going to continue pursue our dreams and not be selfish, not anymore. Sharing and good content and positivity and love and care, because every life matters.
Let's go up here.
Yeah, not only everybody matter. So yeah. So how we overcome this? Because basically we were working in the office, right? And our office, because let's start at the beginning. In Holland, they are free thinker, Even though they are in Europe, they are free thinker. And I don't know if we say that, free thinker?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yeah.
So that's good.
They're very liberal.
So we are in the marina now, just for you to see a bit where we are. It's gorgeous, right? I agree. So yeah. So in Holland is a bit different. When we were looking at the news of everywhere on the planet and here in Holland, it was completely not the same, right? It was not the same way of dealing of it.
For example, a friend of mine went to Spain and the situation was completely different.
Exactly.
We've been very liberal in entering the metro, in the buses, the trains. Just as of this month, the 1st of June, it's the first time that you actually need to start wearing your protection, your mouth gear, or whatever it's called.
But this was everywhere the same, in all entire Europe.
Yeah.
The same thing.
Right, we didn't have that.
Yeah, but what I want to say is that here in Holland, for example, before all the measures have been taken everywhere. Closing thing and put people into quarantine and being very dramatic about it, knowing that there is a solution. This did not happen here. So, for example, in our job, because we are working for a company that take care of customer around the globe, and we were still working up to beginning of April, right? Beginning mid-April.
We were still in the office.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were not social distancing. This
Yeah.
was a funny thing.
We could not anyway, but it is not something that we could not check hands, and a lot of things have been taken in account. Of course, we were taking care of each other, social distancing. Me in my place, because I'm not in the same place as he is. We could have space between each other, but
I had
What-
my colleagues sitting, like left and right, very close, very near to me.
yeah.
And
So
it's just one thing is quite kind of funny that comes to my mind. It's because people here are quite fit. Dutch people have a reputation to be really tall, right? This is what people say when they come to our country. The chicks, the girls, the men, they're like super tall compared to. Not me, no. I'm not small either. But anyway, so the one thing that strikes foreigners is that Dutch people are tall. The other thing that strikes foreigners is that we bike a lot. You see bikers just everywhere, and this is like the number one means of transportation in this country. So I was just thinking of the fact that I think Dutch people in general, compared to the rest of the world, also if you look at how we perform during the Olympic Games, like Dutch are really good in skating, for example. Proudness, okay, soccer. But just to indicate that this is the population is quite fit. This is the thing I really want to say, and this is probably why we have a minimized number of COVID-19 patients. This is the only thing that I can come up with. Yeah?
Right.
People are fit. People are in general in good health. I think this is why we've been pretty relaxed. Why there was not much panic, not even in the media, because simply there wasn't anything. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really different. I am a French in my heart, I am French, and I was looking because my son is living in Paris, and my daughter, she's living in Belgium. Whatever. And so yeah, my son had to stop working and then be at home, and not me, So we were working from the office,
Right.
and then slowly and bit by bit we went home, and then yeah, we just keep going. And it's true that a lot of people have lost their job, because this is also something that struck me, because we were lucky,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
were lucky. So
Actually, busier than ever.
it's true.
I guess. Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
And it's true. One of us working for a big brand, and this brand make more money during quarantine than like the year before. Like the last year of let's say the Black Friday, they did better during the first month of quarantine. So, human. You cannot understand them. No, it's like we can forget about it.
Sometimes you want to do a prediction and you can actually see that it doesn't work out at all.
Exactly. So yeah, we did great. We did great, and we upgrade ourselves. We work more together, and it was good. In fact, quarantine just make us to be more in love. Yeah.
Exactly.
And just to be more proud also of what we have, and more. It doesn't do. I don't react the same way as Eric. Eric is like very firm. I'm firm too. No, Yeah, I am. But what I mean is like he believed that it is nothing. But me, I am more a bit like, yeah, but I prefer to be safe than sorry, and I prefer that we take all the precaution that needed, because I needed more than for 1 week, you know. So oh, I have to eat some strange protein that I don't want, and I don't even know
There's
where.
a mosquito, I think.
Yeah, where he's coming from. Let me help that. No, sorry. So yeah, so just to tell you that the quarantine have been beneficial for many aspects, and thank God we didn't lose any friend and family, and I hope you too, you guys that looking, that you didn't lost any friends and family, and that you overcome that moment, and you learn, maybe you train yourself during that moment, because this is what I did. I learned myself. I learned, and look at that. This is funnel hack. Yeah, I learned to hack. I learned a lot of things, and he learned to be more patient with me, and more.
I was also on a course. I was studying more than ever before, so
This is
you know,
true.
I was reaping the
This is
benefit of
true.
staying at home as well.
This is true.
And you know, the last few months, obviously, we had the ability to work at home. This was great. Saves you like 2.5 hours
Yeah.
of traveling on a
Yes,
daily
true.
basis.
This is
And
true.
obviously, you can use that time and put it into something else. So
Yeah.
that's great.
And we even have the time to move and get a house. Another time we will show you that one. But yeah, and yeah, it's a lot of good things happened, and so obviously, and this is one of the. So this is all for that. But you see, I don't know if you see that somewhere here. This is one of the favorite game of Netherlands. It's like beyond the sea with your own boat. Here, you don't have a license. You don't need a license, by the way, to have your own little boat. So that's the next step, right? So, do you want to say something?
Yeah, I want to thank you for being a patient listener.
Yeah,
And,
it's 17 minutes. I don't even know what we said in 17 minutes.
and we enjoy talking to you, so we want to keep it up. You know, like us if you like this video, and we'll look forward to hearing from you.
Yeah, you can like or you cannot like. It doesn't matter, you know. Just if you don't like, don't say anything. Huh? It's better. This is the freedom of life. Ciao.